I am from Ghaziabad in India, and I am doing my MBA at Georgetown right now. I did my summer internship at Google in San Francisco, so that was great. Worked for about 7 years before I finally came for my MBA, did private public sector consulting, and also had the time to work with a startup, which was pretty cool. So had a pretty diverse experience before I decided that I want to do my MBA.
Perfect. That sounds beautiful.
Honestly, like US, I wasn't even thinking about US, and I did not have a dream school list to begin with, if I'm being very honest. There
Wow.
were, I think, certain aspects of my application that I was not super confident about. So what I was thinking was that I'll apply to some schools in Canada. So that was something I was actually eyeing. I did have few conversations with Hemang, and I think the kind of coaching and mentorship he provided, I was able to look at the positives and the strengths in my profile and gain the confidence that I can play to those strengths and um,
Wow.
apply to at least the top 20 schools in the US. He encouraged me a lot. And long story short, I got into Georgetown and got a great scholarship, which was
Wow.
not even a dream. So
Wow. Excellent. So from not even eyeing a US school to
yeah,
making it to Georgetown with scholarship, that
yeah,
is a phenomenal success story, I would
yeah.
say. And let's talk a little bit about your experience working with Himang. Like, what was what was it about working with Himang that made it click for you?
I think definitely there were a lot of things, but something that made a lot of difference in my journey of application was the amount of self-reflection that he encouraged and pushed me to do about not just my work stories, but my personal stories.
Hmm.
And that was something I was able to like, I felt like I was bringing to the table in a way that's unique. It's not just the work accomplishments, but there are certain, personal aspects of who make me me that I thought a lot about while working with him. So I think a lot of deep self reflection I did working with him. Like, for instance, in the last 3 years, I was working with the government of India.
Yeah.
And a lot of the experiences that I was talking about in my essays was the achievements that I was leading a team, the achievements that I and our team, we were sort of driving in the government. He pushed me and encouraged me to think about the kind of challenges and the context in which I was achieving those things, like being a woman leader in a government organization, which is, male
Yeah.
dominated.
Yeah.
So I think thinking more about the context from where I come and letting
Yeah.
my victories, because then your victories even out, like they shine even more when you talk
Yeah.
about the data
For
and
sure. For
context
sure.
more. So,
No, I think
and
it's
I yeah, and I feel that self-reflection helped me a lot even in my business school time, because it helped me sort of bring a lot of clarity in terms of what is it that I want to do, what I don't want to do, what my strengths are.
hmm.
So yeah,
No, it's nice when someone else holds a mirror in front of you, because there are things that you around you that you're not observing. If someone is able to hear
yeah,
the story and play it back to you in a way that you are not articulating it,
yeah,
I can see that being a very, very important thing, not just in the application process, but even after you enter the business school environment, because then those
yeah,
stories are etched in your mind when you're introducing yourself, the way you're portraying yourself. So
yeah.
that sounds lovely. And what was most challenging for you? What in your application? Like, what did you think was the biggest thorn in your application, and how did you and Himang together overcome that?
Yeah, I think the biggest fear, the biggest like bottleneck was my score. And I have no shame in admitting that I took the GRE 4 times, and every time I was revolving around the same range. I have a below 320 GRE score, which is not an ideal score to be applying to business school, especially if you're looking at US.
Right.
So that was, and I got, I think, a lot of discouragement, like not because there are certain scores and certain kind of profiles that people want to work with, because that's in some way guarantees success. So I was honestly very discouraged, to the extent that I was like, maybe I should not apply also.
Wow.
But I think I was able to overcome that, and there was a lot of, I feel, shift in mindset that was required, because I
Hmm.
feel I had given my 100% to the exams, and even if like right now I can go back in time, I wouldn't do anything different. So I just gave my best to those exams, and I still can't make it. So I
Hmm.
feel like just overcoming that barrier, which in my brain was a barrier, but maybe it
Hmm.
was not, because there are so many other elements in your life that you
Yeah.
should be talking about. Uh, So I think just one was that change in mindset, and
Hmm.
just playing to the strengths in my profile. I was able to focus on while working with Himang and overcome the strength of the weakness of the score that I had.
Wow, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very important to hinge on your strengths and not over-index on your weaknesses and then pull
Yeah.
yourself down.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you were able to do that. Okay, so wrapping up, I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
Um, from working with Himang to now being a part of Himang's team and helping other
Yeah.
people, what has that been like? And what really encouraged you,
Yeah.
motivated you to take up this role? Like, why did you join his team?
Yeah, I think one is definitely like the element of paying it forward, because I've been in those shoes where I have struggled to get a certain score and not been able to achieve that, and then just the discouragement that maybe I'm not the right fit for the schools. So I feel
Mm,
like there are a lot of people like me who,
mm,
if are able to get the guidance that they need, they can make it to maybe not the top five, but top 10, top 20 schools. And there's still a lot of opportunities. I was able to intern at Google, for example, this summer, which was like such a transformative experience. And if I had not taken this leap of faith and, just
yeah,
worried about my score and not applied. So I feel like just helping the people like me
yeah.
is definitely one. So paying it forward. And I feel like applying and working on my MBA applications was such a transformative journey. Like even before you come to business school, your learning and your process starts much earlier when you're reflecting and thinking about what you want to do and what you do not want to do. The clarity is so much important to excel in your MBA life. I
Yeah.
think I would love to be a part of those journeys and help other people sort of reflect on their experiences and gain the clarity that is needed to to maintain like a sane sane mindset in the MBA life, which can be crazy.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love to hear that. From having an unacceptable GRE score to making
Yeah,
to Google for the summer and being the only
yeah,
one from Georgetown doing that. I
yeah,
think this is a success journey that we're
yeah,
all trying to hear more of. So
yeah.
thank you so much for your time, Manisha,
Thank you so much, Shivna.
and I
Nice chatting with you.
same here. I